What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, is all about how I clean my retainers. A very good question asked by some of you viewers who were curious to know how I do this, or how what my method is to keep my retainers clean. It's a great question, and glad it was asked, because I'm going to show you it right now. So without further ado, let's go into what I have here. So I put this on a black mat so you guys can see once I take the retainers out, rather than this countertop. But the first thing, so my red retainers, so you can see I already have two sets of retainers. Black retainers are my Invisalign, essentially. They are the ones that are the mold of your teeth. They pop in, slide in like that. You guys know what Invisalign are, I'm showing you. These are the classic retainers, the ones that have the plastic with the metal wire. Okay, I opted to not do a retainer that was just a wire glued into my mouth, so I have these two. Now, something to note about these retainers, they have not been cleaned prior to this video. So you guys are kind of going to get, a raw view as to how clean my retainers actually are, and what they look like without cleaning. So, number one, let's take a look at this retainer. Okay, so far this retainer not that bad. Actually, there's not that much white plaque. Looks like maybe a little bit on this wire that's poking out, but otherwise this retainer pretty clean. I wear these red retainers only at night. These are only at night. I wear them every single day. I've had my retainers now for a few months. I mean, I got my retainers back in June, so I'm still wearing them 4 months later, every single night, those retainers, like you should. Bottom ones, how do these look? Oops, there you go. Okay, so there's some plaque there, and we're going to talk about how to clean that off and how I do clean that off. So there's some plaque and composite, whatever residue stuck on this tartar on this retainer, the bottom. Let's take a look at the bottoms here. These metal ones, or I'm sorry, these clear ones. So they're kind of opaque and cloudy looking just because I've been wearing them, but that's normal. But otherwise, in terms of looking in here, there's not much food debris. Same for these. Oops, let me take this. Same for these. Relatively clean. Again, I have not washed these I haven't specially washed these for this video is what I'm trying to say. These have been worn, these just last night, these earlier today, and I do simple things to wash them, but they haven't had a necessarily deep clean. I'm trying to show you guys what my retainers look like, real life, rather than just cleaning up for the video and being look how clean my retainers are, I'm a fake. But I can clean these really well, so let me show you how. And by the way, they are pretty clean, and I don't even really clean these that much. I do some simple things, which I'm going to show you what they are. So number one, so there's 4 ways that you can clean your retainers. The first that I recommend, the simple, easiest way, is using a toothbrush and toothpaste. And that I use only for these. And what I mean by that is, after I put these in my mouth, and after I eat food, or after I take them out, I always put my retainers away clean. Okay, so basically, I'll take this toothbrush, put some toothpaste on it, and just brush this inside right here. Just go back and forth like that, holding this in my hand, and I'll brush this. One key to know, let me back up a little bit. One key thing to do when you're wearing your retainers is not to, obviously, don't put your retainers in after you've eaten food and haven't cleaned your mouth. So why do retainers get dirty, right? They get dirty because you've eaten food, and then there gets little food residue and plaque and food debris and bacteria on your teeth. Let's say I just had lunch and I just stick these in right after lunch. Maybe I drank water to rinse my mouth, and I just stick these back in. That will make this pretty dirty. So what I do is, the number one thing, first step, without cleaning it necessarily, is I make sure that my mouth is clean. So if I eat food, I'll go in the bathroom and quickly brush my teeth with water. I won't use toothbrush, I'm not going crazy, but I'm trying to scrape away any plaque or residue or food debris that's stuck up on my teeth before I put my retainers in. So that's a number one way to keep your retainers very clean. Same thing so that's when you put them in. Same thing when you take them out. When you take them out and they're wet, and your saliva has kind of broken down maybe some of that bacteria that's lining there. If it was hardened, now maybe it's soft because it's been in your mouth so long and you've been drinking water and whatnot. The second I take out the retainers, and I specifically mostly mean this one, but I do it for the red one too. Specifically for this one, I will brush it, just like I'm showing you now. I'll rinse it, put it under cold water and brush it. So that's kind of number one, but let's go back to the cleaning step here. So this cleaning step is very simple. I'll brush these, do it pretty vigorously depending, but I'll make sure I'm not bending the plastic or like, you know, hurting this or gonna crack it or break it. So that's one way to clean these. If these get dirty or for whatever reason I've, you know, had lunch, I've brushed my teeth with water, and then I put these in, and then 5 hours later I take them out and I notice that there's some debris in here, I will rinse them under cold water in the sink and I will brush them. So that's that. So the second way to clean my retainers is more so for cleaning the plaque. And I use this tool right here, these tools, I guess this tool kit. And I guess you can use anything that has a sharp object, like the tip of a knife maybe. But what I do is I'll take this and I'll use it to scrape off some of the white plaque. So for example, this specific retainer back here, the bottom one, I can use this exact tool, one like a dentist tool, dentist pick. And I will sometimes scrape that off. Now I'll do it dry because when the retainer's dry, you can see that white, you know, plaque on there. So what I'll do is I'll just put it down here. Obviously I'll be doing this in my hand, but I'm filming so I gotta show you guys this. And I'll just like kind of lightly scrape this stuff away until it like flakes off. I'm not like scraping the plastic. I'm just lightly scraping away only enough so that I can see that white stuff come off. So that actually will clean it and kind of get rid of that plaque. So that's another helpful thing. Another way that I keep my retainers clean. Obviously in this case, you can see that this one has a little bit of white stuff. I can clean it off soon. Like I said, I didn't clean these specifically for the video. This one, relatively clean. What I do with the top one here is I actually just brush this one too. Like I said, you can use a toothbrush. I'm more so for these, but I also do brush these when I take these off in the morning after waking up. So that's method number two. Number one, toothbrush. Number two, using this dental tools to kind of pick away at that tartar and hard composite to scrape it away lightly without hopefully damaging the retainer. Sometimes I do it on this one. Sometimes this one gets a little plaque buildup and I do the same thing. Like for example, on that spot right there, right between the back molar right here. So I could like scrape that away probably pretty easily with one of these picks. It'll just flake right off. Then one of the third options here is this retainer cleaner. Okay, this was on Amazon, no particular brand, like sponsor or anything. This was probably just what was cheapest and, you know, easily available on Prime and highly reviewed, whatever. But there's multiple just retainer cleaners. These things are tablets. They basically help remove plaque and tartar. They brighten up the retainer. So for example, the clear one, I mean, there's an image of literally the clear one right here. This one would probably help clear up these pretty decently. So they look kind of cloudy right now. If I was to clean these with that solution, they'd probably be much clearer. And what you do is you put in water for 15 minutes, cold water, and it should be good to go after that. That's one other thing to mention, since we're talking about the water temperature, is don't use hot water on your retainers. That's what the orthodontist told me. For example, this might happen. Like look at this here. See that bubble there? See how there's a flat spot between the molars right by my fingers? So I think I was cleaning this with hot water, and maybe the hot water caused it to kind of bubble or like pop out the mold. So don't wash these with hot water because that might happen. It also might create like tiny micro bubbles like in the plastic somewhere. So avoid using like extremely hot water or hot water while cleaning your retainers. Simply just need to brush them, use a toothpick or use this, all that in like lukewarm / cold water. So that's pretty much the three main ways that I use to clean my retainers. As you can see, guys, teeth are looking good, retainers are looking relatively good. I haven't cleaned them really in that solution for at least like maybe even 3-4 weeks a month. But I do, like I said, after I eat, clean my mouth. After I take them in and out, always brush them and clean my retainers. So I'm never just like popping them out and putting them back in the case, especially popping them out and not rinsing them under water. I always put them under water. If you have a water bottle, if you're not near a source of water, use a water bottle and like rinse them out, because you take them out and the saliva is like slimy and gets like stuck in these things, you know, like when this pops out, this is like slimy in here. So I always like get my finger in here and like swipe it out, clean it out, use a toothbrush to like clean it out, making sure it's not like sticky and gooey. So that's pretty much it. And then the fourth way, which is kind of the last thing I would recommend for you guys, is kind of a retainer cleaning hack. So besides these methods I showed you, you can also take these obviously to your orthodontist and dentist. They have I mean, they're the ones who gave you these. They have special cleaning solutions and maybe some gyro mixer thing that like swishes the retainer around and cleans them way better. So that's actually what I did with my red retainer, my like wired retainers. When I went to the orthodontist like maybe a month and a half ago, is obviously he wants to see how the retainers are affecting my bite. So I brought them with me, but then while I was there was like, oh, by the way, do you want these cleaned while you're waiting or while the orthodontist is looking at your teeth? Of course. So bring them to your dentist if you're doing a dentist, because I know sometimes you don't see the orthodontist like me every 3 to 4 months now. Obviously, if you're seeing them more frequent, that's great. Keep bringing them retainers. Ask them to clean them for you. I'm sure they can do that. So that's kind of like the fourth way, is kind of a semi-professional way, I guess you could call it, is bring it to your orthodontist and dentist. They'll clean the retainers for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Right here is my retainer set, all the things I use to clean them, and hope you like this video. Give it a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. Thanks for being patient in terms of the videos coming up. Now it's taking me like 3-4 weeks. I just like get busy or lazy. I don't like editing them. But thanks so much for watching. Appreciate all your guys' support, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.